Hey there, Sart here. I'm going to do one more clear against Crumby today. My initial clear, maybe was a little bit strong on some of the gear. I know a lot of folks don't necessarily have Sylvie either. And so I'm going to do a clear. We're going to take Sylvie out. We're going to put Runda in her place, and he's going to be taking care of all the physical tanking, as well as providing mitigations and things for everybody. I'm going to be keeping my Cacteria in normal form to simulate, maybe if you only had an EX0 Cacteria, that's fine. That's all you need. You don't need her Brave Shift form, so we'll just use her 89% attack and Magnus breaks, and that'll be all that you really need. I'm also going to take out Seymour and put in Neovision Awakened Elena. And then for our Dark Imbue, so I used Bulwark on the previous clear, so if you don't have Dark Fina, Warrior's Prayer, then just slot Bulwark back in there, and that's fine. So this is just, I just wanted to use another Dark Imbue unit. There aren't really a whole lot of units out there that do like a Dark Imbue with a decent amp, but Dark Fina Warrior's Prayer is probably, I don't know, she's probably the best Dark Imbue support unit that's out there right now. I can't really think of anybody that does a higher dark amp, but she does 45% dark amps on her limit burst, and so I think that's the best that we have to work with. So we're going to stick with Dark Element on this one, again utilizing Neovision Awakened Golbez for that 150% Dark Imperil. Now this strategy might be more to your liking, because what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of damage on turn 2 to kind of get close to the 50% threshold without going over. You don't want to go over the 50% threshold if you can help it, because it does some very strong threshold attacks that will wipe out your tank and then promptly wipe out your team, unless you've got some incredibly strong mitigations and are prepared for it. The threshold attack is pretty deadly to your tank and to your team. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get close to the 50% threshold on turn 2, and then go in for the kill on turn 4. And so this strategy might be better for you if you can't do my other video, my other initial clear, where you just burst the whole thing down on turn 4. This might be a better strategy for you. So let's talk about the team real quick. Runda, basically the similar build to what I've been doing. You want to make sure you give him backup unit though, because that's the free gear you get from the season 4 story, and that gives him charm resist. So that's like, kind of custom made for Runda. I also, you'll notice I gave him a bit of spirit gear, like your Uracious Hairpin. I threw Imperial Armor on there, just to give him a little bit more spirit, because he will be the provoke unit, and there are a couple of single target magic attacks that actually are fairly strong. Sylvie makes it look easy because she's got insanely high spirit. Runda does not have very high spirit, so some of those magic attacks will hurt him a little bit, so I just bulked him up with a little bit more spirit. All right, and again, power cut card for the bulk. So I tuned my Esther way down on this one. I don't have like an EX1 or EX2 Esther. I don't know that my EX0 Esther could do this. You probably could, actually, if your Golbez is really strong. You could probably do this with an EX0 Esther, and I might try that one in a later clear. But I just kind of tuned this one down to more like around maybe an EX2 level Esther. Still have one piece of Magister's gear for the chain cap up. Just made sure she's capped on her killers there, because I'm not using her vision card. I'm going to use a more budget-friendly vision card on this one. All right, and she won't be doing any tanking at all. She just stays in this form. Cacteria, she'll just be staying in her normal form the whole time. Again, you want to. Everyone's going to be taking some magic damage, and we're not going to have those big magic mitigations that Sylvie brings. So, you want to make sure everyone can handle that. Now, she's going to be guarding most of the time, because all she has to do is set up her breaks and the the earth buffs on turn 1. and then she'll just kind of be hanging out and guarding the rest of the time. She can honestly die after that. We don't really need her for anything after she does her breaks. Golbez. So I mentioned in my last video that if you have Azure Dawn, which is Frostblade Fryevia's STMR, it's very nice on Golbez because it has the Reaper Killer. And if you have someone with a Sword Imperil, they can utilize that to make Golbez even stronger. So I've kind of tuned down the Cal gear here. I still gave him a Magister's Ring, just because I think personally that's like the first one you should go for, is a Magister's Ring as far as Cal gear is concerned. So I gave him that. The next best helm that I have with Mag on it is Louise's helm, the Corundum helm. I'm keeping Curl Floaty on there for the Charm Resist, giving him his Curse armor for the Jet Black Curse ability, and then again just some killers. Now I was able to give him a bit more killers on this one, so he is pretty close. He's 275 to Stone and Reaper now, so that's pretty good. And again, Dazzling Demoness. If you don't have Dazzling Demoness, give him Oliveira's card, which you can buy from the VC shop, and that one will do just fine. And so Elena's actually going to do a couple of things. So the boss does a 200% Earth and Dark Imperil as an ambush. And so Elena can go ahead and get rid of that, which means you don't even have to necessarily build in any kind of resistances, because she will remove the Imperils and then do a 100% all elemental resist for your team. And so you don't even have to worry about building in elemental resists, which is really fantastic. So that's what she's going to do on turn 1, and then she'll just do some chaining in her normal form. She'll bring the Sword Imperil with her Magnus skill here, Piercing Prism. So that does the, there it is, 25% Sword Imperil for Golbez, right? Otherwise, you don't have to worry about her gear. Just make sure she's got Charm Resist in her Brave Shift form, because that's where she's going to start. And then for Dark Fina, just gave her some Spirit and just some general bulk, just to make sure that she is plenty tanky enough. You want to make sure she's got some good LB fill too, just to make sure she gets her LB up before the burst turn on turn 4. All right, and that's pretty much it. Nothing too fancy here. Yep, that's everybody. All right, so this will be another 4-turn clear, but we're going to do 2 separate bursts, one to get us close to 50%, and then another one to kill the boss. All right, so let's see how we get this done. All right, so as usual, Runda will just do his LB. Golbez will do Jet Black Curse. Elena can do Crystal Refrag to get rid of the Imperil and put up the 100% resists, and then just Beloved Heroine for some morale. Dark Fiend can just do Indarkga for the Imbue. Cacteria will go ahead and set up her, let's see, Power Breaking, Magic Breaking, right? Because we want to make sure to take care of those breaks first. And then Thorny Teamwork is going to do the big 150%. Actually, never mind. What am I saying? We don't even need that. Yep, so we can go ahead and do, let's do, what do we really need to do here? We could do, let's do a Cactus Break. Yeah, doesn't matter. All right, Esther is going to do Energizing Bunny and Bolting Slice and Calm Before the Storm. All right, that's going to give us our Reaper and Stone Killers and set Esther up for a burst next turn. All right, so there you see we are resisting. All right. Very good. So yeah, boss didn't really do too much that we need to worry about there. We can go ahead and do an LB. Now, Elena doesn't have her LB ready to go. That's all right. What we're going to do is just a little bit of chaining. Piercing Prism, Crystal Refraction, and Blade of Salvation. And Dark Fina will just do a triple Darkra, followed by an Ultima. And that's just because, we don't have a quad cast. And then what we can do... oh yeah, Shelga for the magic mitigation, because we might take some incoming magic damage. And we'll go ahead and do a Meteor now. Runda is just going to... Yeah, he's just going to guard, just to make sure nothing happens to him. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and do a burst here. It shouldn't push the threshold. If it does, then I'm going to have to scrub this one. All right, you don't want to push the threshold here, right? Okay, so we're going to start Golbez. All right, there you go, perfect, 52%. So I've been landing somewhere between like 52 and 57, so around 55% is what I've been doing with this team. All right. Okay, so Runda will do his SLB. Dark Phenom will do her LB. If her LB isn't up and ready, Runda's SLB should fill it up the rest of the way. Now, Golbez needs MP for the burst next turn, so he'll do Osmos. All right, that'll get the MP he needs. Esther will just do another setup turn. All right, Elena will do another setup. We'll do Way of the Aurora to fill up her LB. Actually, no, her LB is already filled, isn't it? Yeah, so she honestly doesn't need to do anything. What you could do is just do a quick shift back and just do double morale. All right, Cacteria will do the 89% defense and spirit breaks, and we'll just do Thorny Teamwork, why not? All right. So yeah, as you can see, the boss is very, very tame. As long as you've got good breaks, you've got your resists up, there's really not a whole lot to worry about. That one felt good. That's what the Shelga was there for. All right, so now we're gonna burst and finish this thing off. All right, so Elena will LB, and Golbez will cap with Meteor. And yeah, this is gonna take care of business. So let's do it. Boom. As dead as it gets. Nice, so we actually did enough to kill on that turn, 1.8 billion, and if you remember my last video, the boss has 1.8 billion base HP, so right there we did enough to kill. But in case your units aren't that strong, this strategy should work very, very well for you using those units, right? And if you're looking for replacements for certain units, just check my other video. I'll also do some more, varied team compositions as we go, and post those over the weekend. So stay tuned for some of those. Let's see what the damage actually shakes out. Yeah, so Golbez doing very, very well there. Doing much better with that Sword in Peril to help him out, right? Looking pretty good. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys. Stay tuned. I'll be posting more over the weekend, and then you can look forward to what I hope to be a rank 1 clear sometime next week. So thank you guys so much for following me, and I will see you on the other side.